All right. So on the previous day, we learned how to create the database, how to create the table, and how to insert the data inside the table, right? And we saw how to display the table as well by using select command, correct?
Yes.
Right. Now, just give me a second. So basically, we already saw how to insert the data, right? So here what it happens. First, whenever, as I said on that day, whenever we are using, we are writing any queries, first we need to activate the database, right? Then only SQL will understand whatever queries we write, in which database we should execute, correct? So now as we are working on DurgaSoft 2 database, first let me activate the database, okay? And to activate the database, we will use command, right? Use DurgaSoft 2, correct? I'm just executing it. You can see our database got activated. Now, what are all the commands we need to execute? We can execute now. So all that commands will execute under this database only,
Hello.
right?
I can't hear
Yes.
you. Your voice is breaking.
Oh, just a second. Hello.
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Perfect. So what I just did, I activated the database, right? To activate the database, we will use command. So that SQL can understand whatever statements we will execute now, all that statements will execute inside this database only. Correct? Now, let me just display the data from employees table. We have two tables, right? We created two tables in this. So to display the data, we will use select command, that is select star from employees, right? See, this is our data. We have two rows here, right? Employee ID 1 and employee ID 2. And the names are Raj and Sam, correct? Now, basically in any company, every employee will have a unique employee ID, right? We cannot have a same employee ID for multiple employees, correct? If we talk about any college or class also, we will have our unique student ID, right?
Yeah.
So here also in this employees table also, my employee ID should be unique. There cannot be, the same employee ID for the another student. Okay. So let me just execute this insert statement once again. Okay. I'm just executing the complete insert statement once again. It got executed. Okay. Now let me just display this data. Now you see, I got the data once again, right? Employee ID 1 to employee ID 1 2. That means here SQL is allowing me to enter the duplicate data, and it is allowing me to enter the employee ID, the same employee ID again. But we know that for sure, for in any company, employee ID should be unique. If I try to enter the same employee ID, it should throws me an error. Okay. SQL should not suppose me to allow allow to enter me the same employee ID once again. Okay, but basically it allowed me here. So to do that, what we will do, there is a concept called as primary key. Okay, primary key. So we need to define a primary key for this column. On whatever column we will define a primary key, what it will do, it won't allow null values and duplicate values. Okay. So whenever we are creating any, one second. So whenever we are creating any table, so at least there should be one column that should be unique. And for that column, we need to create a primary key. So that if we try to enter the data again also, it should not allow us to enter. It should throw us an error. Okay. Now let's see how to create a primary key. So let me create another table. I will just create the same table once again with a different name. Okay, I'm giving now employees 2. Okay, so previously what I said, what we need to, how do we need to create the table? We need to give the table name, and inside the brackets we need to give the column names and the data types, right? So here also I'm just opening the bracket. Inside I will give the column name. Employee ID is my column name. Integer is the data type, comma. Employee name is the another column name. Char is the data type, and I'm defining some length for this. And date of joining is the column name. Date will be my data type, and salary is the column name. Float will be my data type, right? This is how we will create, we know this is how we will create the table so far. We need to give the table name. Inside the brackets we need to give the column name, and we need to define the data type, right? But now what we need to do, whenever we want to create a primary key in this table, employees to table, employee ID should be only unique, right? Because in employee name column there should be common employee names, like there should be same name for any of the two employees, right? It
Yes.
will happen. And date of joining will also can also be same. On the same day two employees can join, and the salary can also be same, but employee ID only should be unique. It cannot be repeat, right? So
Yes.
we need to create the primary key for employee ID column. So to create the primary key, what we will do, after writing the column name, we need to define the data type first, and after defining the data type, we need to just write as primary key. We need to mention the keyword as primary key. That's it. Nothing more, nothing else. Okay. For whatever column we want to create the primary key, we need to mention the primary key keyword after data type. Okay. That's it. Is it clear?
It's clear, but we have created for character 10, we have given space. For integer, what it will take by normally?
No, no, only for characters we need to define some size.
For
Integers, or
integer, what
for
is the
integers, date, we are not supposed to give any space. Directly, whatever number we will give, that much space only it will take.
oh,
For only character data, we need to define some space.
okay,
Okay. So
okay.
let me just execute this and let's see how it will work. Okay, our table got created. Now, once again, let me just insert the same data. We know how we will write the insert command. Insert into table name. Here my table name is employees 2, right?
Yeah.
Values, and this is my data. Now let me just execute this. It got created. Now let me just display the data, that is select star from employees 2.
First star is
Oh, sorry. See, if we observe here, I already inserted 2 rows, and after that you can able to see null here for each and every column. right? So it indicates that when we can able to see null here, it is an indication that we created a primary key in this table. Okay. And if I just refresh this schemas and click on this employees too, here also you can see after integer it is showing us pk, right? Pk in the sense primary key. Here from like this also we can able to see on which column we created primary key. So basically what is the need of primary key? It won't allow us to enter the duplicate values, right? So now once again let me execute this and let's see. Definitely it should throw us an error, right? Perfect. See it, we got an error stating duplicate entry because
For
employee 2
employee.
dot primary key, because we already have 1 and 2 in this data. As we are again trying to enter same 1 and 2, it is not allowing us to enter. It is saying you are entering the duplicate values because we defined a primary key for this table, right? So this is how whenever we are creating a table in the real time, we need to definitely create a primary key for primary key at that time. Okay. And most important rule here is for every table there will be only one primary key. Okay.
What if there are two columns that are same, like they are unique? Whichever we want, we can choose. Like this will be the primary
See,
key for my
yeah,
table.
correct. See, basically what it happens, if we think logically, there should be only one column that should be unique, right? Because employee name, there can be two Raj or two Sam, two same employee names in the company. We cannot
In
declare employee name as a primary key, right?
in this table, it's okay. But
It's
what
okay,
if I
but
encounter?
correct. Suppose if you think that we have any other table, and if you really think that two columns can have a primary key, then at that time, if we want, we can create only one column as a primary key, but we are not supposed to create two columns primary key. But again, for example, here in this table, if you want to create a primary key, or if you want to make this two columns unique for employee ID and employee name together, at that time there is a concept called as composite key. We will see this in our further classes. Okay. So we need to create a composite key for these two columns. We are not
Combined.
supposed to create a primary key for two columns. We need to create only one primary key. But if you want to make these two columns unique, at that time you need to create a composite key for these two columns combinedly.
Okay.
Okay, we
What
will
if I
learn
don't have any unique values at all in that like a table?
unique values in the sense.
Like employee ID is there. We don't
Hmm.
have employee ID at all in that table.
Yeah,
We
you,
have to
if
somehow.
needed only we will create a primary key, or else without creating a
Okay.
primary key is also normally as we how we created yesterday normal table, we can do like that. But
Oh,
definitely in real time there should be at least one common one one column we need to create a primary key, because in almost all the tables we will have the IDs only, like in orders table order ID, students table
yes,
students
yes,
ID, like that. Films table
yes, yes.
film ID. Going forward, definitely we will have one ID column, and that should, for that column only we will create the primary key. Okay. And for
Oh,
now just forget about the composite key, we will see that in the later classes. Okay.
okay.
So only thing we need to remember is whenever we define a primary key in the sense it won't allow null values or duplicate values. Null
Duplicate
values in the
values.
sense we should definitely give some values. We cannot leave it as empty, right? Duplicate in the
Yeah.
sense you know what is it. And one more important point, for every table there will be only one primary key. So in this table we have only employee ID as primary key. As I said, if you want to create for these two tables, then you need to use a complete different concept called
Composite.
as composite key. Okay.
Composite.
All right. So this is about the primary key. Next we have one more key called as foreign key. Okay. So foreign key is nothing but it is used to create the relationship between the tables. So before explaining this, let me explain the concept in one Excel file. Just give me a second. I will open one Excel file. To save our time, I'm just copying the data here. Okay. See, for example, we are having two tables. Just assume we are having one student's table and one course details table. Okay. So here we have three columns in students table, that is student ID, student name and course ID. And in course details table we are having course ID, course name and duration. Okay. Now if we want to understand the details from this both the tables, like if I want to know what is the course which Deepak is taking, what will be your answer? What is the course Deepak is taking?
SQL.
SQL, right? How you can able to tell that? You will just relate these two columns, right? Here for
Yeah.
Deepak, the course ID is 1, and in this table for the course ID is 1, course name is SQL, right?
Yeah.
So basically in SQL also we will create multiple tables. Okay. And if we want to relate the data between that multiple tables, there should be one common column between them. Then only we can relate the tables. Okay. Here if you don't have, suppose if you don't have course ID in this table, you cannot relate the students table with the course details table, right? There should be
Yeah.
something in common so that you can relate with each other. Correct?
Yeah.
So for
Yes.
that common column, we will create a foreign key.
It's like
Okay,
mapping.
base like mapping, exactly like mapping. So for whatever common column is there, for that column we will create the foreign key here, and that column only helps us to map the data between the two tables. That's the reason I said foreign key is used to create a relationship between the two tables. Okay, now let's see here. Just tell me in students table what will be the primary key?
Student ID will be the primary key.
Student ID will be primary key for sure, right? In course details table, what will be my primary key?
Course ID.
Perfect. Course ID should be my primary key. Whenever I am I'm creating this table, I will define primary key for student ID here, primary key for course ID here,
Course ID. Yeah.
right? So if we observe this data, we can conclude like this. We can give some conclusions. That is, before that, one second. Okay, first let me write all the three conclusions. First one is that we know for every table there will be one primary key, right? Right? In this students table, we have student ID as primary key. In course details table, we have course ID as primary key. So we can say for every table, there will be only one primary key only. So here, what I said, I need to create a relationship between this course ID and this course ID. Already I declared a primary key here for this column. So what I need to do, I need to define foreign key in this table for this column. Okay. Whenever I create a foreign key for this column, what it will do, it will relate this column with this column. Okay. Let's see,
Yeah.
when we create one table, you can able to understand. So by this point, I can conclude one thing is every foreign key will act as primary key in another table, right? Because this course ID is a foreign key here, right? This
It is
column is a primary key
detained and
in the
in
another
its
table,
table.
correct?
Yeah. Yes,
Definitely
yes.
this will be one rule. Definitely if we are creating a foreign key for this column, it should be the primary key in this table. If we are creating a relationship between these two tables, and if we are creating a foreign key here, it should be a primary key here. That is the second rule. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the third rule in the sense? Primary key data should be unique, right? Whereas foreign key data I can say, whereas in foreign key column, data can be repeated, right? See here, course ID. We are creating a foreign key for course ID. Here I have one for two times. It is coming two times, right? The data can be repeated here. In foreign key only, we will make sure that first of all, we will create the foreign key just to have the unique data only, right? But in foreign key, there is no such rule. The data can be repeated. Okay.
It just have to map to that another table. That's
Another table, we are creating the foreign key. That's it.
it.
Basically,
If there
third
is a
point
for
is
if there is a foreign key, there should be another table with that
with
foreign
the
key as some primary
correct
key.
with the same
Yeah.
column as the primary key.
Yeah.
So basically, this third statement is okay, but the first two statements is a complete is a rule we should follow. We should remember these two points as important points. Uh, for if you are trying as a fresher, this can be an interview question also. For primary key, definitely in every table we will have only one primary key, and whenever we are creating a foreign key, that column it will act as a primary key in another table, right? We should remember these
Yes.
points. Okay. So now let's see how we will create these two tables. First, let's create the students table and course table, and let's see how we will create a foreign key to this column. Okay. So here, if you remember, see, let me once again show you. Here in this column, if you see, we have course ID. We created a foreign key here, right? Basically, whenever we are creating a foreign key, we will relate this to this, right? So we will
Yeah.
use some references kind of thing. So for that reason, what we will do, we need to create this table first. First, we need to create this table. Then only we need to create this table. If we are creating a foreign key table, uh, the the other table first we need to create. Okay, so first let's create this course details table, and then let's create the students detail table. Okay.
Okay.
Once if I write the query, you can understand. So let's create first course details table. So what will be the syntax? Create table. Table name will be my course details,
Course
right?
details.
I will open the brackets and I will give the column names as something like CID, that is course ID. Integer will be my data type name, and it should be primary key, right? So I'm writing primary key, correct? Next, course name. For course name, I will just
Character
give it as character and I will give some size here.
20.
Suppose
Okay.
20. Okay. Then what is the column? Course name duration. So next duration. For duration, I can give int only, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Perfect. Now let me just create this table. Table got created. Let's see here. I'm just refreshing the schema. We got course details table. Correct? Now what I will do, I will insert some, sorry.
Nothing got
Yeah,
created. That's it.
correct. First, let me insert the data in this table. Okay, insert into course details, values. What values I will give, like double one, or else here directly I will give one SQL, right? The duration will be like
40.
40. Okay, next comma, second will be 2, maybe tableau, duration will be like maybe 45. Let me give another row also, 3.
Data science.
Yeah, I'm giving it
Power
as
BI.
Power BI. Anything is fine. I will give Power BI also 40 days only. So 3 rows is enough for now. So this is my data. I'm executing this. It got executed. Now let's display the data by using select command, right? Select star from course details. Right, this is our data. As we created a primary key, we can able to see null at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So this is course details table. Now let's create students table, right? So, sorry. So create table students. I'll open the bracket. My column names will be like student name, student ID, integer. It should be the primary key, right? So this will be
Yeah.
my first column. Next column is student name, char. I'll give some size as 10, right? Student ID, student name. Next, I will
See,
give the
course.
course details table. I can give it as course ID. So, comma, I will give course ID, and I can define the integer data type, right? So here, once we do, let me just remove this bracket for now. So here, till here, the concept is same. Normally we give the column names and we define the data types, right? Now what I need to do, I need to create a foreign key for this course ID column, right? So to
Yeah.
create a foreign key, what I need to use here, I need to give foreign key keyword. For primary key, we will just only write primary key. But in foreign key, what we need to give, we need to mention foreign key and we need to give from which table we are creating a relationship, right? For which table we are
Course
giving this
details.
relationship, or for which table we are giving, we are taking the references. So for that, what we need to do, foreign key of, I'm saying I am creating foreign key for this column. That is course ID column. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking references from. I need to use references keyword. Whenever I'm defining foreign key, I will use references keyword. Okay. So from where I'm referencing, I'm taking this data, course details
Course
table,
details.
course details table, course ID, right? This one. See, this is how I need to write the syntax. Let me repeat. So previously what we are doing, we are just creating a, whenever we are creating a primary key, we will just use the primary key keyword. But here, whenever we are creating the foreign key, we are creating a relationship between two tables. That's the reason we need to mention. I'm saying I want to create a foreign key for this column, that is course id column, and I want to create the relationship between, that is I'm referring the data from course details table course id. Okay, so that by seeing this line, SQL will understand we are creating a relationship between course details table course ID and students table course ID. Okay. If with practice you can remember this syntax, no problem. But on whatever column here, we are writing the column name as course ID, right? So we are saying we need to mention that column name inside the brackets. Foreign key of this one. We are creating a foreign key on this table, and I'm taking the table, that is I'm referencing the data from course details table course ID. Okay, clear?
Yes, please.
Let me execute this. One second, one second. Okay, I forgot to give the comma here. Sorry. We need to mention the comma. Like after writing one column name, we will give the column comma, right? SID comma, SName comma, course ID comma. After that only we need to give the this foreign key details here. Okay.
Then spaces, no like syntaxes you will give, right? For
Uh,
space, no error it will take.
where
You
here?
given
No
for
problem, no problem. For
yeah,
spaces, no problem. I can write here also, or I can write at bottom also. Okay.
space will not be done. Okay.
Yes. Now it got created. Okay. Foreign key is created. Now let's insert the data into the foreign key. Okay, so I'll say insert into students, right? Values. Let me give the values here, like 1101 comma. Next I need to mention the student name. So maybe I'm giving Raj, and I'm giving the course ID as 1. Okay, next comma, I will write the second row details, like 1102, maybe any name randomly, and my course ID will be 2. Okay, comma 1103, maybe some name, comma my course ID will be 1. Like that, we will give some data. Let me insert the data. It got inserted. Now let me display the data. Select star from students. Okay. See, this is our data. Student ID, student name, course ID. At the bottom, we are can able to see null because we already created a primary key for SID, right? See, if we want to see both the tables, if we want to display both the tables together, we can do that. How to do that? Here, suppose I want to display course details table as well. Okay, basically what we will do, we will execute this line and this line, right? And at the starting, if you remember, I said here, did I set the point? Semicolon is optional here, right, in MySQL, whereas in SQL Server, for after at the end of each and every syntax we need to use the semicolon, correct? But in case if we want to execute two SQL statements together, we need to write the semicolon after first line. Whenever SQL sees like this, it will understand. If we see a semicolon, SQL will understand like this will be the end of this SQL statement and this is a new SQL statement. They want to execute them together. Okay. if suppose I want to execute both of the statements together, then only I need to use this semicolon. If I don't use semicolon and if I select this two, it will throw me error. It states there is no such table like students and course details table. If I give the semicolon, SQL will understand, okay, this is one syntax and this is another syntax. Okay. Now
Parallelly, it is going to execute.
display both the data. It executes both the data. Here we can just open the tabs like this. If I click on students, I can able to see students data. If I click on course details, I can able to see course details table like this.
Yeah, side by side, we
Side by
can't see
side,
that.
yeah, directly side by side we can't see. We need to toggle
That
this, but
all
again, at a time we can see by
joins.
toggling like this. Okay.
Yeah.
And here the main point is whenever we are creating a foreign key, it will create a relationship for sure. But if we want to display the data all together, we cannot do by only this concept. At that time, we need to use a concept called joins.
Joins. Yeah.
Whenever we use joins, at that time only we will display the data together from both the tables.
Yes.
Okay.
Understood.
In joins
Yeah.
class, we will see about that detailing. Clear? So far, is it clear for you everything for primary key and foreign key?
Yeah. Yeah. It's clear.
Great. Now, quickly, let me explain you the difference between char and varchar. I forgot it. Actually, I need to explain it before this concept. Just give me a second. Here, whenever yesterday we are discussing about the data types, we know the types of data types are we have integer, we have like numerical data types, right? We have numerical data types, and in that we have int, float.
Slow.
This is types of data types. Okay, let me write it. So next we have character data types. In
Yeah.
that we
Back.
have
Yeah.
char and varchar, right? Now we need to understand the difference between char and varchar. And in the same way, we have date time data types, right? In that we have date, comma, date time data types. First, mostly, I can say we have Boolean also, true, false. But mostly we will use first three data types only very frequently. So in that, let's see the difference between char and varchar now. To make you understand clearly, I will open, 1 second, let me open Paint. So, what is the difference between char and varchar in the sense? First of all, I can say char is of, you know, it's fixed length data type. That is, first let me explain you with some examples, okay? Then I will give you the definition for you. Char. Okay, let's ignore this. Suppose if I talk about char, okay, and suppose for whenever we are declaring char, what we will do, for example, I'm giving employee name employee name column. I'm giving in that employee name column, I'm defining data type of char of 10. Okay. This is my column name. Why it is happening like this? Okay, you can able to understand, right? Just ignore that why it is going
Got
like
it.
this. I don't know. So something. So for employee name, I'm defining the data type as char of 10. Okay. So if we do like this, what it happens basically? Okay. See, as I define the size as 10, what it will do, it will divide it into the 10 boxes. Suppose let me divide this box into 10 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Suppose. Okay, this is not the box.
View another time somewhere. No problem.
Just some like this I
Yeah.
did. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so if I define the size as 10, just imagine this is one box. I took the 10 divisions here. Now I want to enter the data in it. So for example, I'm entering for this employee name, I'm entering John. Okay, so J will be written here, O will be written here, H will be written here. Okay, N will be written in this box. Basically what SQL will do, whenever we give this char as a data type, it will first divide the box into 10 divisions. That means it will take 10 spaces, it will reserve 10 spaces memory. Okay, in that, if suppose I used only four I can say 4 spaces. Okay, that is I'm using only 4 characters of data. Okay, and remaining we have 6 characters, right? All these 6 characters, what it will do, it will give the blank spaces like this. Okay,
Only 4 cells will be occupied, remaining 6 will be empty.
will be empty, but by default all the 10 all the 10 characters or 10 spaces will be used here. It won't
Yeah,
release
it will
this
be null.
memory. It will be null, but it will use whatever size we define here, the complete size will be used by the SQL.
Yeah.
So this leads to
Okay,
the memory
understood.
wastage, right? Because here
Yeah.
almost 6 boxes are we are using simply only. We are not filling the data inside it, but we are using the 6 boxes. Correct?
Yes, yes.
But were if we talk about varchar, if suppose for the same employee name, what I'm doing, I'm giving the varchar of 10. Okay. If suppose I'm giving varchar, what it happens again, the concept will be same. Oh, sorry. In this box, what it will do, it will take some 10 boxes like this. Okay, 10 boxes. And if suppose I'm writing same John here, okay, J will be here, O will be here, H will be here, right? And N will be here. I'm using only 4 characters, in the sense all the 6 boxes, it will release the memory. It will give back to the SQL. Okay. If we are using varchar, if we define 10 also or 20, or suppose if I define 50 also, what it will do, how many characters I will use? I'm using only 4 characters right here. Remaining all the boxes, this memory, it won't keep it with itself. It will just release this memory back to the SQL. So with I can say, if we use varchar, it won't leads to this memory wastage problem.
Yeah, like
Okay.
if you are uncertain about the length, then we will give varchar.
Right. Actually, the concept here is in which situations we need to use char and varchar, in the sense, if whenever we are defining any column names and we don't know how much of data we are inserting in that column, we can use varchar.
Yeah,
Suppose if we
var
have
means
something like address, there it will be
some person
anything can
small,
be
some
some
person
person
big.
small
Yeah,
address. Yes, exactly. So
yes,
we don't know how
uncertain.
many characters. At that
Yeah,
time, we can use
uncertainty.
varchar. Correct, uncertainty. Suppose so we are, and there will be some data where we know that we are going to enter this much only. Like for example, if we talk about gender column, whenever we are
Gender.
defining
Yeah,
gender column, we know that either we will enter male or female, right?
yeah,
At that
postal
time, we
codes.
postal codes, it will be maybe six only, male or female also. At that time, we can use char and we can use six characters so that it will take male and female in that, right?
It's
So
for
if
certain, it's for uncertain, like
correct.
values. Yeah,
Correct. So
got it.
if we know what type of data we are entering, that for that one we can use char, but if we don't know, we can use varchar.
Here
Okay,
for
and
varchar, we'll give 100 means it will take whatever amount we want and remaining
that's
amount
it.
it
We
will
can
leave it.
correct exactly. We can give 100
Yeah.
also, but if I entered only four characters, it will take four characters and it will remaining 96 characters. It will release the memory back to the SQL.
What is the maximum we can give like here in
That's
this?
what I'm going to say. And here the maximum limit is in char. The maximum limit is only 255. I will write it
For char.
in, okay, for char basically. For char, the maximum number of storage, I can say, we can store the data up to 255 characters only. Okay. And
Yeah.
again, if we, of course, we don't store this much, but if we are giving some kind of descriptions, whenever we are writing huge data, if
Feedbacks.
we are
Yeah.
about to, yeah, feedbacks kind of thing, if we are about to give more than 255 characters only, also we can use varchar only directly, right? And
Yeah.
for varchar limitation is like 65,235 characters.
55.
So almost 65,000, it's
235.
not 235, sorry, 535. Okay. So this much of data we can store in varchar. So clear for you the difference between
Yeah.
char and varchar?
Yeah. It's clear. It's clear.
So let me just write the definition in this workbench for you, SQL file. Basically, what I will do, I will share these files for you. Once this topic is done, I will upload this file. So from here also only I can believe you will get all this theory part data and along with that syntaxes, right? So
Yeah. Like
whenever
notes. Okay.
like notes, I will maintain in this only. I don't prefer giving any other like notes,
Yeah. Yeah.
syntaxes
I
separately
saw
and
that
theory
shared
part
file.
separately. Okay, you already saw that. Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got the access to that links,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Just now
fine.
this. Yeah.
Okay, fine, great. So I believe if you can able to see here only everything, while revision also it will be easy for you, right? All the theory
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
and syntaxes together. So let me give the definitions of char and varchar quickly. I can say char is a fixed length data type. That means whatever size we are giving, that much for that it will be fixed, right? If we are giving 10, it will use 10. It won't release the memory, correct? And I can also say we can store up to 255 characters of data in char. It comes to varchar, it is called, it is a variable length data type. Okay, that means it's varied with the size we are giving. If we give 50 also, if we are using 10 characters, the remaining characters it will remove, it will give back to the SQL, right? We can store up to 65,535. Okay. So this is about the difference between char and varchar. All right. So yeah. Now next we have another topic. Let me open a new file here. Oh, sorry. And the concept is SQL commands. Okay. Let me quickly give you the overview. In tomorrow's class, let's discuss this, let's discuss about this detailing. Okay. So SQL commands. So basically, are you a fresher?
No, I have 1.5 years of experience.
Okay, but you are new to SQL, right?
Yeah, SQL name.
Okay. So in the picture, you can see we have something called as SQL commands. Okay, and we have 5 types of SQL commands. That is DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. DDL in the sense data definition language, DML in the sense data manipulation language,
Sure.
data control language, transaction control language, and data query language, which we will see detailedly one by one. In that, inside that sub languages also, we can call it as SQL commands or SQL sub languages. Okay, inside that we have few commands detail, like in DDL we have create, drop, alter, truncate, and rename. Let's see each one of this detail. Okay, and I need to show you the installation process also, right?
Yeah, I think in the shared video, did you already
It,
use
it
some?
is there. Can you able to see that video and you
Yeah,
can?
yeah,
Okay.
I can.
Or else I can give you one more thing also. In YouTube, I have my own channel called as Data Analytics with Divya. Okay. In that also, there is one video detailing like how to install SQL, MySQL. From that
Yeah,
also,
sure.
you can access that file. Just it is very simple. Okay. Just try to see
Yeah,
that
yeah,
video. You can able to install on your own. If you have
yeah.
any doubts, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
that for now you are the only student we have in this batch, and we are planning to
Yeah,
club the 2 batches, no? So it will save me time. That's the
yeah,
reason I'm not
understand.
explaining. Thank you.
Yeah,
So SQL commands, as I said, we have five types of commands, right? First one is DDL, that is data definition language. Okay, and the commands we have inside the DDL are create, alter,
drop, truncate, and rename.
right, drop,
If you are
truncate.
writing something, I can't see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shared only the image. Sorry for that.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Happens.
Right? Create, alter, drop, truncate, and rename.
Yeah,
Okay. Now let's see each one of this detailing. So basically, we already saw what is create command, right? Use it to create tables. In previous class, we already see how we will create, how we will use create command, right? Create tables, table names, and this will be the syntax, correct?
yeah,
So we already know what is, I mean, how we will use create command. So I'm not discussing this once again. Directly, I will start. So actually, before alter, let me explain you drop command. Okay. So first, let's see what is drop command. Okay, basically by using drop command, what we will do, we will if we want to remove the complete data from the, I mean, if you want to remove the complete table, I can say. So drop table is used to remove complete table from the database. Suppose we created one table and we realized we don't want that table, we will
We are
delete that
dropping.
table, right? So at that time we will use drop. In this we have like employee, employees and employee two, right? Let me just display once employee data. Select star from EMP. Did we inserted the data? This is empty. Let me first quickly insert some data and I will show you.
Like it will drop means it will delete all the data inside the table, but
Inside the
table
table
will be
and
there.
no, table will also, it will delete. That's what I want to show you. 1 second.
Then you can drop EMP, no problem.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm dropping EMP. But first let me, I'm executing. I want to insert the data and I want to show you.
Yeah.
1 second. EMP name. Where we created EMP actually. 1 second. Here.
Yeah,
EMP name. I didn't mention the size here. Sorry. So
10.
10, but we already created the table, right?
Like what happens if we don't give any length? It will throw an error or
Yeah,
it will
it's
take some
showing me the
10.
error. It is saying that data too long for column.
Yeah.
See, I used only one character here, so it got executed. Okay,
Yeah,
instead of
only
Raj, I
one.
gave only R. Just
Yeah.
for now, I did like that. Let's see the data. It okay, 2 rows, but it is not doing. Okay, let me just quickly. 1 second. You just ignore this. I will show you once again clearly. I'm
Here
just creating the
we
table once again and I'm inserting the data once again, just to show you how it will work, how drop will work. Okay.
yeah, in this like SQL, no need to like follow the sequence.
No
We
need. We
have to
can write.
just
Yeah, we can
select
write
the
anywhere.
command and execute. Yeah,
Correct. We can
that's what.
write anywhere. We can write. Okay.
Selecting that statement will execute it.
And executing. That's it. See, now what it happens. I'm just displaying the data from the employee. This is my data. What I did previously, I didn't give the size for employee name. No, so I just once deleted the table once again. I created and inserted the data. So this, if I display the data from employee table, this is my data. I have 4 columns: employee ID, employee name, date of joining and salary, and I have 2 rows of data. Okay, so how to use drop command in the sense, the syntax for drop command is drop table name. Okay, that means I can say simply drop table name will is employee, right? EMP is my table name, right? So now if I execute this, what it will do, if you can see here, I'm just refreshing the schemas, you can see EMP here. I have table so far. If I executed this syntax, my table got dropped. That means if I refresh it, you cannot see EMP here in the list of tables. It got deleted completely. If I execute this select star from EMP, it will throw me error stating there is no such table. See, table
There is
employee
no
EMP
bringing back
doesn't
this EMP, right?
exist.
After drop,
No,
we
no,
can't bring back the table. Yeah.
no, no. So
Totally
if we
deleted from
want to
database.
delete completely from the database, we will use drop. So it will
Okay.
delete the complete structure of the table, that is the column names as well as the data inside the table. If in
No bringing back.
so somewhere if we decide like we don't want any table, we will delete that table. If we want to delete the table completely from the database, then only we will use this drop command.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Understood.
All right. And next we have alter command. And actually we don't have a class, the 7 o'clock class today. If you are free and if you want me to continue, I can
Yeah, continue,
continue
continue.
for some time.
Continue. Continue,
That's great.
continue.
So next we have alter command. Alter command in the sense, actually we have many use cases in this alter command. Okay, almost we can use up to, we have 5 use cases here. We will see one by one. First use case is
One more thing, small note. We
Mhm.
did the primary key and foreign key. After this topic, we'll continue that. Is it completed?
It's done.
Yeah, in that I have small note.
Yes, please,
We
please,
created
please.
primary key and foreign key. We
Correct.
did not link and bring
That's what I
from.
said. That's what I said. See, whenever we use a primary key and foreign key, that is, whenever we create a foreign key, if I used like this, I can display the data and I can see the data. But I
We,
created a relationship between these two tables, but we cannot bring the tables together. To bring the tables together, to display the tables together, we need to use the joins concept.
not like that. If like I
Mhm.
have to see from in student table from one, if I give one, I have to
Mhm.
get this one. Like that, there is no command.
That's what. If, now you what you
We have to
want to
go
say
to
like.
joints table.
Correct, correct.
Joints for
See, if
this.
you
Yeah,
are
yeah, I
asking
understood.
like you want to know the course name of what Raj is taking, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So at
I
that
have
time
to
we
learn.
need to use joins. We need to merge two tables.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay,
But
sure.
for
Got it,
joins
got it.
also, if we cannot create a foreign key, we cannot make joins. That is the reason. Actually, we should discuss this foreign key at the time of joins. Then it will be easy for you to understand.
Yeah, yeah. I thought half left, so I got
Yeah,
confused.
correct. But as per the index, I don't know why the primary key and foreign key
Yeah,
will
no
come
problem.
here
It
only.
comes in
Okay,
flow. Okay.
in flow, right? So
Yeah,
for now, we created a relationship, but how to get the data, how we will combine the tables, we will see in joins concept. Okay,
yeah. Sure, sure.
all right. 1 second. All right. So now we are discussing about alter command, right? So in alter command, basically we have many use cases, and the first use case is let's see one by one. Okay, and the first use case is if we want to add any new column in existing table. Okay, so if we want to add any column, new column in the existing table, we will use alter command. Okay, that means we already, suppose if I already created one table, for example, I have employees table here. I have employee ID, employee name, date of joining, and salary, right? So after creating a table, I want to add one more column in this existing table. In employees table only, I want suppose one more column.
Date
Okay,
of
at
exit.
that time, I will use alter command.
Okay.
Now I have 4 columns, right? If suppose I want to add bonus column in this, in the same employees table, if I want to add a bonus column, we will use alter command. Okay, so how to use alter command? What is the syntax in the sense? Alter table,
Okay.
table name, add, we need to use add keyword here in the syntax. Okay, add, I can say column name, data type, size. By default, we need to remember one thing: whenever we are defining the column name, by default we need to define the data type, and if it is a character data type, we need to define size. Okay,
Size. Okay.
so let's see example. Alter table, the table name is employee. Suppose I am creating, I want to add a column in the employees table. For now we are having 4 columns. If I want to add another column called as bonus, okay, bonus, and I want to give the data type as integer. Okay, so whenever we are using, if we want to add a new column, then we will use add keyword here inside the alter. Okay, so now let me just execute this. The table got altered. Now let's display the data. Select star from employees, where we can able to see the structure. I didn't inserted the data inside the bonus, right? Like this. Okay, like this I got null for now. If I enter the data, if I insert the data, I can able to see the data as well in this table. Okay,
We can't directly enter here, alter. We have to do it separately.
again we have to write insert command like that. Okay,
Okay.
so by using alter, we if we want to add any new column, we will do that. Okay, and I will see going forward, I will see how we will insert the data in only one column also. But for
Okay.
now, alter command is used to, if we want to add any new column in the existing table, we will use alter. Okay, and the second use case, I said we have almost 4 to 5 use cases, right? First use case is if we want to add a new column,
Oh,
and the second use case is if we want to remove an existing column. Exactly opposite. If I want to remove any column also, I will use alter only. Okay, use it to remove existing
existing
column,
column.
I can say, from table. Okay, so at that time what I need to write, the syntax will be like alter table, table name, drop column name, data type. Sorry, drop column name. This will be our syntax. Basically, if we want to remove any existing column, we need to use drop command inside alter command. Okay, for
Directly we
example,
can't. Okay.
yeah, alter table, table name, same table name employees, drop column. If I want to remove the same bonus column, okay, I will directly give like this. Let me just execute this. See, it got executed. Now let me just display the data. Select star from employees. See, my bonus column is removed, right? So whenever if we want to add a new column in the existing table also, we will use alter only. If we want to remove the existing column also, we will use alter only. But if we want to add, we need to use add keyword inside the alter, right? Whenever adding,
Yeah.
add keyword. If we want to remove, we need to use drop keyword inside the alter. Okay, with some practice you can able to remember all these things, don't worry. Okay, and the third use case is if we want to change, alter third use case, if we want to use it to change data type of column names. See, whenever we are defining any column, we will give the data types, right? So if we want to change the data types, at that time also we will use alter only. For example, in this employees table, if you see here, if I'm just clicking employees here, it is showing me the data here. In employee name, I gave char of 10, right? If I want to change char of 10 to varchar of 10, if I, that means if I want to change from char to varchar, right? That is changing data types only. No, I want to change my char data type to varchar data type, correct?
What if we change from char to int? It will be error, right? It will throw
uh,
error or
we cannot, because it will throw an error. We
yeah,
already we have already data of character data, right? We cannot do
yeah.
that. It will throw us error. Suppose if we don't inserted the data, we can do that. If the table
Yeah,
is
the
empty,
possibilities are int to float or char to
correct,
varchar.
correct, correct. In
Those are
within
the
the same type
possibilities.
of data type only, like date to date time, like that we can
Yeah,
change. And if suppose just you, if you want to check if the table is empty, then only you can change from char to integer. But again,
yeah,
after creating, if you want, whenever we are I mean inserting the data, it will allow only integer data only. We cannot enter character data like that.
yeah, got it.
Okay. So now we are changing char to varchar. At that time also we will use syntax. We will use alter command only. Alter table,
Table name,
table name. Here we will use modify keyword. Okay, because we are modify in the
modify.
sense we can know the meaning as changing only, right? We are changing the data type. We will use the keyword as modify.
Yeah,
Column,
column name.
column name and data type of
Okay.
size. Okay, this will be 1 second. All right. So here we are changing the data type, right? That's the reason we were using modify as a keyword, and we are saying we want to modify the column. In that column name, data type of size. Okay, let's see with example. That is alter table, table name,
Employee.
modify is the keyword. Now
Uh,
what is a column name? Employee name, emp name, right? This one, this for this employee name. For char we are going to change to the varchar, right? So directly what we will do, whatever data type we want to give, that data type we will write directly, right? Now I
yeah,
want,
modify in syntax, modify column. It did not go here.
oh, sorry.
Direct column name.
Correct, 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 correct. I need to give column, right? Modify column, column name, varchar of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Directly we need to give the data type what we want to change, right?
Previous, we will not know. We will not need to mention only new which we are going to
Yeah, yeah.
change.
Previously, what we are changing, no need of mentioning that. What we want newly, that one we can give
We have to.
directly. Okay. So yeah, I executed and it got executed successfully. Now previously we have here char of 10. Once I refresh the data, you can see we got varchar of 10, right?
Yeah.
So this is how we will change the data types if needed by using alter command only. And the fourth use case is that if we want to what we call rename the column names. Suppose whenever I'm creating the data, I gave one column name, and later I want to rename the column name. We will use alter only. Okay, and the syntax for that is alter table name rename, we need to use rename, old name to new name.
Okay.
Okay. Here we need to mention the old name also, what we are going to change, like that.
Which name which column name we are going to change. Yeah.
Right. So here what we will change, for example, here I have date of joining. So let's use this table only, alter table, table name, rename. I have a date of joining as my table, right? Date of joining. I want to change that column name to DOJ,
Yeah.
date of joining. Okay, for example, alter table, table name, rename old name to new name. We need to give what old name also we need to mention here. And what we want to change, we need to give that new name also. Okay,
Yeah.
one second. Alter table, table name. Where did I read mistake? Oh, sorry. Here I need to mention column also. Sorry for that.
Column.
We are we need to say what we are changing, right? We need to say rename column, column name, old column name to new column name.
Yeah.
Sorry. Right, it got changed. All right. We can see here. Previously we have date of joining. If I refresh, we got DOJ,
DURGA, yeah.
right? So this is how we can rename the column name if needed. And the fifth and the last use case is we can add primary key to the existing column. That is the reason I will say primary key and foreign key concept first before this SQL commands. Okay. Suppose here, if you observe in this employees table, whenever I'm defining, we are creating this table, I didn't define primary key for employee ID. For employees too, I define. If I select here, beside int, you can see PK, right?
Yeah.
Primary key. But here in employees table, I didn't define. Suppose I realized I want to use primary key in this table also for the existing table directly without dropping this table. There are two ways. One thing, we can drop this complete table, and again we need to create the table, we need to insert the data. Whenever we are creating, we need to use the primary key. But instead of that, directly for the existing table only, we can add the primary key by using alter command. Okay. So how to do that? Alter,
Table name.
right. Add,
Primary.
same here, whatever we did for the first, here what we did, add column name, data type of size, right?
Yeah.
One second. Here directly we can add the primary key. We need to write add primary key.
Column.
Yeah, one second, one second. So directly we can give add primary key, and we need to give the column name. That means for which column name we want to add the primary key, we need to mention. Here I want to add primary key to the employee name, right? So I can give here no need of giving data type and size again, because we already created the column name. For the existing column name, we just adding the primary key, right? See,
Yeah.
alter table, table name
Employee.
is employees, add primary key.
Primary.
Primary key is the keyword. Now I will say I want to add
EMP
primary key to directly EMP
ID.
ID. That's it. I once again I don't define the integer. I don't define data type here. Directly for the existing column, I'm just adding the primary key. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me execute. One second. Again I got error.
Braces.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I need to use braces. Duplicate entry. One second.
I think in the table we have multiple duplicates inside the table.
Yeah, correct. We have the data
Okay,
as duplicate data. That's why it is not adding the
not
primary
taking,
key
yeah.
for this table. Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need to create one more table now. But did you understand the
Okay.
concept?
Yeah, I
Is
got
that
it. I
fine?
got it.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
As
yeah.
we already have the data, duplicate data there, it is not allowing me to create a primary key now. I need to remove the data and I need to add the primary key. How to
It's
remove the data?
only it's only for tables which don't have primary keys. Not like we have one
Correct,
primary key. We need to change
correct.
that primary key to another key. We can't do from
No,
here.
not that. If for the table, if we don't have any primary key, we can directly add the primary key for the table like this only.
Yeah,
But here in the employees table, as I have already the duplicate data, it is not allowing me to create.
yeah, understood.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Next. So with this, our alter command is finished. Okay. So create is done, alter is done, drop is done. Next we have truncate and rename.
Rename already.
Yeah, we used rename for changing only the column name, right?
Okay,
If we
for
want to
table
change
name.
the
Okay.
column name, we will write inside alter. If we want to change the table name, directly we will use
Then
the
then
rename. The syntax
yeah,
will be almost same. First, let's
yeah.
see truncate. Truncate in the sense whenever we use a truncate, if we want to remove the data inside the table, but
Keep the table.
structure will remain same. Yeah. For example, for suppose previously what we did for this employees table, we tried to add the primary key. As we are having a duplicate data, it is not allowing us to add, right? So at that
Yeah.
time, what we can do, we can use truncate for this table so that the entire data will be removed. Then we can execute this statement,
Command,
primary key
alter
will be
command, and
added. Hmm.
again
Again,
we
we
have to
need to
insert
insert
data.
the data. Okay,
Data.
like that.
Yeah.
Truncate in the sense the structure will remain same, but the data will be removed inside it.
Table will be there inside the table.
Inside table.
The
See, let's see.
values will be gone.
Suppose let's use the same table. Select star from employees. Inside that we have this many data like 5 6 rows are there, but almost we are having all the duplicate values only,
Duplicates. Yeah.
right?
One, two, one, two, one,
So
two. Yeah.
to use the truncate, what we can do, just directly truncate table name. The syntax will be that's it. Okay. The syntax is simple here for truncate. Just we need to give truncate table name. So I will write it as truncate table employee.
Employees.
I will execute this. It got executed. Once again, I will display the data. See, the structure is remaining same. That is the column names is same, but complete data inside
Values
it,
inside.
the
Gone.
data will be removed. If sometimes if we face such scenarios that we want the same table, but I want completely different data, at that time instead of using the drop command, if we use the drop command, the table will be completely deleted. Then we need to use the create command. Then we need to use the insert command, right?
Yeah.
Instead of that, directly we can use the truncate command so that only data will be removed, and then we need to use the insert command to insert the data. No need of using create command here. To avoid one step, we will use truncate. Okay, did you got my point?
Yeah, got it.
Right. Now let's see, let me just if so, no need of doing that, adding the data and executing the statement, right? You understood this point, right?
Yeah, understood,
I will
understood.
leave this for now. So this is
Yeah.
about truncate. If we want to, whenever we use the truncate table, what it happens, the data inside it, all the rows will be deleted, but the structure, that means the column names will remain same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Names will be there, right?
The column
Column
names, it
names.
will be there. The column
Yeah,
names will
okay.
be same. Only the rows data. This is columns and this is rows, right? The data
Yeah,
inside that rows will be deleted. Okay.
yeah, got it.
So this is about the truncate. And one more
Mm.
important thing here to remember, whenever we use truncate command for foreign key tables. Okay, if we use truncate for the foreign key tables, that is, we created a foreign key for relation between course details table and students table, right?
Yeah,
So at that time, if we want to use the truncate command, what we need to do, we need to first truncate the primary table. Okay, that means first we need to truncate the students table. Then only we can truncate the course. Let me show you the primary key and foreign key syntax, then you will understand. One second. This here. See, whenever we created the tables, what we did, this is my students table, this is my course table, right? Let me
yeah,
write it down here. So course details table, this is students details table. If I directly truncate, I will use, if I directly use truncate on this course details table, it will throw me error stating that we used this course details table in this syntax, that we, right, we said references course details. That means
yeah,
we are creating a relationship between these two tables.
yeah.
So at
Here
that
it will
time,
throw error.
for
Okay.
yes, it will throw as an error. It will state that you already, I mean, there is you already created a relationship. You are using this course details in some other table. So first delete this. First use truncate for this table. Then only command use truncate for this table. Like that, it will say. At that time, first we need to use truncate for the students table. Then first relation will be destroyed. Then we can use truncate for course details table.
Yeah.
Okay, let's use the same. Let's see the same. Here, let me first, if I use truncate table course
Students.
details there, no, first if I use course details,
Students.
I will get the error. Let me show you the error first. See, it is throwing me error saying cannot truncate a
Yeah.
table referenced in a foreign key constraint, right?
Yeah.
It is saying me that you used references for this table as in the foreign key, so you cannot truncate this. First we need to truncate table students. Okay, it will work. Then I need to use truncate for course details table, it will also work. Basically, I cannot use truncate, I need to directly use the drop here. Okay, because what I'm saying here, if I use the truncate, only the data inside it will remove, but the structure will remain same, right?
CAD. Yeah, CAD will
As the
collide.
structure will remain same, foreign key won't delete, right?
Yeah.
If we want to delete the foreign key, we need to use completely drop here. I need to drop the complete table, then only
Yeah.
truncate will work for this table. If I use only truncate for students, the data will be deleted, but the relation will be as it is,
Yeah, the
right? Because
CAD
column names will
course
be
ID.
same, data types will be there, primary key and foreign key will also be there. We need to drop it completely, then we need to use the truncate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
first we need to drop, I can say we need to drop parent child table first. One second, where is it? Foreign key table, and if I write foreign key table, then you can understand, because we created foreign key in students table only, right?
Yeah.
Then we need to truncate base table. Okay, to make you understand, I'm writing it very clearly. Okay. All right. So this rule you should remember whenever you're dealing with truncate. Okay. Clear? So with this, we are done with truncate also. Next we have rename. Rename command. If we want to use it to rename completely table name, okay, we will use rename command, right? Directly I can use the syntax as rename table, old table name to new table name. That's it. Old name to new name. Okay. For example, rename any table
employees to employees.
Better. Rename table employees to, let's change it to employees 1.
Yeah.
If I'm just refreshing, we got employees 1 here, right? That's it. This is how we will use rename. Okay. So is this clear? We are done with DDL. Create, drop all the truncate and rename, right?
Data definition language. Okay.
Data definition language. Basically, data definition language, what it will do, it will talks about the structure of the data. Here we are dealing with the structure only. Whenever we are using the create command, it is creating some structure to the table, right?
Yeah.
Whenever we are creating drop means we are removing completely the table. The structure is also removing. Alter in the sense the structure is changing. If you are adding one table, the structure will change. If you are adding, if you are adding one column, new column, or removing any column, like that, if you are changing any data type also, there is some kind of changes is made in the structure. Truncate is also the structure will be changed, right? But rename, for rename it won't come actually, but basically DDL talks about the structure of the table. Okay. Where DML in the sense data manipulation language, it talks about the data inside the table. So far in the DDL command we just talk about the structure or the column names, right? DML in the sense inside data, that is rows. If we are inserting the data, some additional rows we will insert. If we are updating, some data will be updated, or else deleting the data. We will talk, DML talks about the data inside the table. Okay.
Insert, yes.
All right. Is it okay? Can I continue DML also?
Yeah, continue. If you are okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, continue.
We don't have class today. Basically, it's 7 o'clock. So let's, as you see, we have insert, update, and delete, but we know what is insert command already, right? First of all, DML in the sense data manipulation language. Okay. And the commands inside it are insert, update, and delete. We know already about insert command, so let's directly learn about update command. Okay.
Yeah.
So suppose let me just first select start from employees 1. Let's see this data. Okay, we don't have data inside this, right? Let's see employees 2. Yeah, this is our data, employees 2. So suppose what if I want to change any data inside it, like
salary
for
from
example,
50,000 to 60,000.
suppose I wrote any mistake in this data. Maybe I wrote any spelling mistake in employee name, or maybe I given some wrong salary here. If I want to change that, we need to use the update command. Okay. If suppose I given same 50,000 salary for the two employees here, right? But suppose if I want to change the salary of Raj to 60,000, I need to use the update command. Okay. So the syntax for using update command is update table name, set. We need to use the, actually here no need of using table. Update table name. Let me write the syntax first. Update table name. We need to use a set keyword here. Okay. We need to use a set keyword, and we need to give the new data, I can say. Suppose here update table name employees 2 I want to update. I will use set keyword, and I want to update as salary is equals to 60,000. Okay. But here just observe, if I write like this, what will happen?
That 2 will be 60,000. 2 will become 60,000.
Correct. 2 will be, all the rows will be changed to the 60,000 only.
60,000.
Because I didn't given any condition here. I didn't given that I want to change for only Raj salary. Right. So whenever you are dealing with the update command, we need to be very careful in real time, because there will be huge data. We will deal with big data in the real time. If we forget giving the where condition, suppose if we have 2000 rows, all the 2000 rows data will be updated. Right. So for that we need to give the where clause here. Basically, where is a clause in SQL. It is used to give any conditions. If we want to give any conditions in SQL, we will use where clause. Okay. Or else I can also say one more definition for where clause is that use it to filter the data. Let's see that detailing. But first just remember, if we want to give any conditions, we need to use where clause. Basically, where clause is used to give the conditions to the data. Here I want to give the condition. That's the reason whenever I'm using update command, I will use the where clause. Here
Where
what my
EMP ID
condition
is
will
equals to
be,
1.
where emp
Here
id
is
is
equals
equals
to
to
1.
1. If I execute like this, only this data will be changed, right?
Yeah.
It got executed once again. Just let's execute select statement. See, only first row got changed. If I forget
Yeah.
using this where clause, for the two rows, the data will become 60 only. See, for example, I'm updating only this. I'm not selecting where clause. I'm executing this. It will throw me first error. If you observe here, right, it throws me an error stating by default. Here what it will happen in MySQL, especially this feature is not available in SQL Server, I think, but in MySQL there is one feature, because in real time we will deal with big data, right? There will be some thousands and thousands of rows. If suppose any newcomer or we also, if we experienced people, if we forget using where clause, all our data will be updated, right? Or else if any newbie entered and if they don't know, and mistakenly also if they don't use where clause, all the data will be updated, and it will become the big headache for us, right? It
Yeah.
will become the it will create a problem for us. For that purpose, especially in MySQL, what they did by default, in settings there will be one setting called as safe mode, that will be by default turned on. Okay. For example, let me show you how to access that. One second. Here yeah, I have something called as edit, right, in the menu bar towards the left.
Yeah.
In the edit one, I need to click on edit. Here I have something called as preferences. I need to click on preferences. Then one dialog box will open. Here there will be something called as SQL editor, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you once again. First, we need to click on edit. Inside edit, there will be
Preferences.
preferences. Here, we need to click on
SQL.
SQL editor. We need to scroll it down. You can see something called as save updates, right? By
Yeah.
default, it is turned on. If we want to use a update command without using where clause, we need to turn off this setting. We need to uncheck this box and we need to click on OK. After that, we need to once again reconnect to the database. Here, there will be one option called as reconnect to DBMS. Okay, I need to click that. Now, if after making, whenever I clicked on reconnect to DBS only, that setting will be updated. Okay, now only I can use this update command without where clause. Or
Yeah.
else, before what it did, if I didn't use where clause, it thrown me error saying you are using safe update mode and you tried to update a table without a where clause. So that's the reason we got an error. It is also telling me to disable safe mode, toggle the options, preferences, SQL editor and reconnect. That's what we did now. Now let's execute this without using the where command. It will work. It is not throwing me error. It worked, right? Now let's select the data. So this is the great feature of, see, we got same
MySQL.
60,000 for salaries for both the. So this is the safe mode is one of the great feature of MySQL. Just to avoid this kind of problems, by default MySQL will turn on the safe mode. Suppose in real time, if you want to use the update command, it's not only update, delete command also without the where clause. For delete command also, definitely we need to use the where clause. We need to give the condition where we want to delete the data, right? If we don't use the where clause for update and delete commands, we need to first turn off that safe mode. We need to execute this, and again, once our work is done, we need to turn on the safe mode once again. Or else if we just leave like this, or the next day, or after 10 days, if you do mistakenly, if you execute this, it will work, right? It will won't throw the error. We should definitely turn on the setting once again. To
Yeah.
turn on again, the same process: edit, preferences,
Preferences. SQL editor.
preferences,
SQL
SQL
editor.
editor,
Safe.
scroll it down. Last, there is safe modes, right? We need to turn it on. We need to again check this box, click on OK, and we should not forget to reconnect to DBMS also. If we don't do that, it won't the setting won't be applied. Once again, we need to click on reconnect to DBMS. Then see, if again I want to, if suppose I'm giving some other data without where clause, I'm trying to execute this, again it
Yeah.
throw me error
Yeah.
stating you are using safe update mode, like this.
Yeah.
Just to be on the safer side, this is a new setting used by the MySQL. If we want to use the where,
And and this where clause we have to apply for unique values. Like for
yeah, for
unique
unique
values.
values, then it will be safer for us, because if I
Yeah.
say employee name is equals to Raj, if we have two
Oh
employee
yeah.
names Raj, for two rows it will be updated. So by default we will use the primary key column, that is unique column, only in where clause. Okay. So this is the thing we need to remember. Whenever we need to use the update command, for we need to use where clause. And where is the clause of in the SQL, we will call where, there is something called as where clause. Whenever we want to give any conditions, or whenever we want to filter the data, we will use where clause. Okay. Suppose if we want to use the update command without where clause, we need to turn off the safe mode option. Okay. Clear?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Now, so we are done with update command.
Delete.
1 second. Next, we have delete command. See, you can get out that it what kind of scenarios we will use this update command without where clause. I can give you one example. Just to save the time, I'm directly giving you the question here.
Yeah.
This is my question. Suppose here we have employees data. In employees 2, suppose if we want to give the 10% of salary bonus, and if we want to add that column bonus in the employees 2 table. This is my question. This is my requirement. How to do what I'm saying? Let me just display the data first. Select star from employees 2. I don't have bonus column now, right? So now what I want to do, I want to add a bonus column here, and I want to give 10% of salary bonus for each of my for all of my employees. At that
Yeah.
time, what we need to do, we need to use two commands. First, we need to add
Alter.
the bonus alter table here, alter table
Add column. Employees
employees
to
to add
add
column
column
bonus
bonus.
maybe integer,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
1 second.
Again, we have to do insert.
We should not use column here. Basically, we should use directly bonus. Alter table name, add column name integer. Okay, now I am just executing this. Okay, and I will execute the select command. Select star from employees to. First, we will get the empty column of bonus, right? Here we got the empty column. Now here what I'm saying, I want to give the 10% of salary bonus to all of my employees. Right? I'm saying the condition is same. Suppose if I have 50 members also, 50 employees also, I want to give 100%, I want to give 10% bonus for every employees. So here I don't want to give any where clause because my condition is same for each and every employee, right? At that time, we can directly use the update command without using the where clause. Okay. Directly what I can do here, update table name, set. I need to give the condition. Now what I'll give the condition, set bonus is equals to 0.1 into salary. For their salary only, I want to give 10% of their salary, right, as bonus. So this is
Yeah.
my condition. In such conditions, if we are using the same formula for each and every rows, no need of giving any conditions. At that time, we will use update command without where clause. Again, it will throw me error because safe mode is on. We need to turn it off and we need to execute this. But to just make you clear that in which scenarios we will use update command without where clause, in the sense if we want to solve such problems. Okay, if we want to add the
If it's
same
applied to
concept,
everything
every
in the,
employee,
yeah,
every data
then
is
we
there,
have to
then we
then we
don't need to use the where clause,
work out. Yeah.
right? Done. This is about the update command. Next we have delete command. And what is delete in the sense, basically if we want to delete any data from the table. Okay, use it to delete data from the table. We will use the delete command. Okay, and the syntax will be, for example, I have only 2 rows here, but let me just delete the second row. Okay, what will be my syntax? Delete from, we need to use the keyword from table name. Okay, and I need to give any condition here. Okay, to give the condition, again I will use the where clause only, right? Where clause, and I need to give some condition here. Let me write it. Delete from table name is
Employees
employees
to
to, where I will give the condition as employee id is equals to 2. If I say like this, each and only this row will be deleted, right? Delete from table name where condition. It got executed. Let's display the data. That row, entire row will be deleted, right? I have only one row now. Like this, we will use the delete command. If we want to delete any particular row, I can say any particular row, if we want to delete, we will use the delete command. Okay, again the same. Inside the where clause, if we need to use the primary key column only. That is unique data, right? If I say where employee name is equals to Raj, if we have same name for two persons, it will delete both the rows. That's the reason we need to use the employee table only.
It will not throw any error directly, it will delete.
Directly it will delete.
Okay.
If we don't use where clause, it will throw us an error. We need to use where clause. The same concept. It will say it won't do actually. It will throw us an error directly. If see we are using safe update mode, same thing. We need to turn it off and we need to use. If we want to use either update command and delete command without wait clause, it will throw us an error stating safe mode update. Okay, safe mode. So this is about the delete command. Now let's discuss a very important interview question. Difference between drop, delete and truncate. Definitely 90% this question will be asked in the interviews in a SQL round. Tell me the difference between drop, delete and truncate.
Drop, we will drop whole table with the structure.
Correct.
Delete a particular row.
Correct.
Truncate the data inside the table with the structure intact.
Correct. You need to explain just like this only. You need to just tell the concept what it will happen. That's it. No other differences. You need to just tell the same thing which you told me. Drop means it will delete the complete table from the database. Delete means if you want to delete any particular row. Truncate means the data
structure will be there, the data will be
correct.
gone.
The data will be removed. The structure will remain as it is. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. So is it clear for you so far?
Yeah, so far so good. Perfect. So many syntaxes I have to go through again.
Yes. Sorry for that. I'm being a little bit quick, I know.
Yeah, I need to understand.
But
taking
this
a class
all
for single person is hard.
Yeah, that's the reason. Actually, basically this is a backup class only. We expect, as we have a long weekend, we expected at least 2 persons in this batch, and we thought we need to add. We can just in that batch we have already 15 members, I guess. 12 to 15.
How far we are done in that batch?
I need to take 2 more classes for you, 1 or 2 actually.
Yeah.
For them, actually, there is no class today. I just gave a holiday on Raksha Bandhan just to make you 2 batches to balance. I gave a holiday for them. So
yeah.
I think
Yesterday
one
I
more class
contacted them.
for
He
you.
said, yeah, same 2 hours class. It will be good at me.
Okay. Sorry.
Another class with 2 hours, it will be good.
Yeah, actually yesterday if I took 1 hour also, we can finish it by today. But suddenly I had to go out, so I cancelled the class, yesterday's class. We need to take one more batch actually, one more class for you. Then I can combine you in that batch. So here. So far we finished DDL and DML. DQL is nothing but a select clause, which you know already, right? To display the data, we will use select clause, right?
Yeah.
That's it. So DQL is also finished. You know nothing more in select. If we want to display the complete data, we will use select star from table. If we want to display any particular column name, like select employee ID, comma employee name from table, in the sense it will display only that particular column names. We already discussed about the select clause in the previous classes, right? So we are done with DQL as well. Just we are left over with 2 more this DCL and TCL. That is nothing but DCL in the sense data control language and TCL in the sense transaction control language. Both of this language, this commands, this languages will be used by database administrators only. Okay. SQL developers won't use this. SQL developers will use only DDL, DML, and DQL. SQL administrators, there will be another role for the administration department. SQL administrators will use DCL and TCL. So for SQL developers, we don't use this. We don't have access to use this. But again, to have some knowledge, let's discuss about what is this very quickly. I can finish it in 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
DCL in the sense data control language. And the syntax is inside a grant and revoke. Okay.
You have to change this thing.
Oh, sorry. I didn't change the screen.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So basically, DCL commands are used by database admins only. Okay, we don't have access to use these commands. Technically, basically what it is in the sense, generally, whenever we are working with the real data, we don't have permissions to access all the data, or I can say to access all the to perform all the actions, we don't have access. So for suppose I can say like drop command. Uh, uh, Basically what it happens, not only SQL developers, there are many fields like there are